Dallas Cowboy fans probably want to blame Jerry Jones, and they should. And they probably think that Dak Prescott isn't the guy, which is fair. But as crazy as it may sound, the biggest mistake the Dallas Cowboys made this offseason was signing CeeDee Lamb. And I know people are gonna say that what are you talking about? CeeDee Lamb is a dog. He just had like almost 200 yards his last game. Like he's the guy, number one. Of course you gotta pay CeeDee Lamb. The problem with paying CeeDee Lamb is that you had to pay Dak Prescott. So all that money you tied up into Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, is not gonna equate to a championship. You're not gonna win a Super Bowl. And you still gotta pay Michael Parsons next offseason. So this roster is not gonna be flexible at all. If you're going to pay your quarterback, you cannot be paying a receiver top end money and win a Super Bowl. Show me the team. Show me the team that has paid their quarterback and receiver, and their money was both on the books that same season at high end numbers, and they won a Super Bowl. So in this situation, I would have either let Dak Prescott go, which is high risk because finding a quarterback is very hard, or preferably I would have not signed CeeDee Lamb because you couldn't have traded Dak Prescott for anything. He had in his contract no trade clause, no franchise tag. You would not get anything for Dak Prescott. So he basically already won that. Like you was done. It was not really a possibility. You were gonna be stuck with Dak Prescott regardless. Now with CeeDee Lamb, who had a year left on his contract, you could have traded him for probably a first round draft pick and replaced him. Maybe you would have got a Malik Neighbors or a Roma Dunze. I mean, maybe not, but you could have got a receiver this year, next year in the draft. We're not sure. But if you would have already traded CeeDee Lamb and kept that cap space open, you would have had a lot more flexibility. Now, I say this because look at past history. You can't find the champion that paid the quarterback and the receiver in the same year in terms of the money on the books. You can't find that. Not top end, not top end. Look at the Kansas City Chiefs. They are the current dynasty. They are the standard. They had Patrick Mahomes, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time already. They had Tyreek Hill, one of the best receivers in his era. And they decided to let Tyreek Hill walk. They would have re-signed Tyreek Hill. It would have made it a whole lot harder for them to win those Super Bowls going forward, but they would have. But the fact that they did not make that mistake, they did not re-sign Tyreek Hill, and they had paid Patrick Mahomes already, who also was not getting super high end money. He was getting near the top market, but he wasn't breaking the bank, with his contract because it was team friendly. But the fact that you let Tyreek Hill walk, you were able to get some compensation for him, get that defense built up, sign some offensive linemen, still keep Travis Kelsey around. Chris Jones was able to get re-signed. They brought in Jay Reed. The Kansas City Chiefs were able to build a more well-rounded roster. They were able to have their quarterback one, their go-to target at tight end, offensive lineman around that could protect Patrick Mahomes, and a stout defense that not only was a good overall team defense, but had a high-end salary in Chris Jones, a game wrecker, like Michael Parsons is for the Dallas Cowboys, who they're going to have to sign. That's the route they should have taken. You can make an argument that you sign CD and let Dak walk, don't get nothing for him, and you're better off because you can get a Shadur Sanders or whatever in the draft, whatever you think you might be able to get. You can say that. But it is proven that it's a whole lot easier to find another receiver than another quarterback. The Minnesota Vikings trade away Stephon Diggs, they get Justin Jefferson. I'm just saying, man. It's not that easy to find quarterbacks. Receivers come a dime a dozen. Top end receivers are great. You can't find them every single year. The Tyreek Hills, the CeeDee Lambs, the Justin Jeffersons, Jamar Chase. You can't find those. Devontae Adams. You can't find them every year, obviously. But to win a Super Bowl, you don't necessarily need that. You do, however, need competent quarterback play. And nowadays, you need very good quarterback play.